talk about the features of the GST. Means what are the basic features of the GST envisaged in CAB or the procedure? And the same state transactions. See what is envisaged because of the federal structure of different structure of Indian economy. We have because of federal and unitary state nature and say the center and state has different financial powers, and that is envisaged in this. We have a dual GST comprising central GST and state GST to operate concurrently on supply of goods and service for considerations. Means to say earlier they were all independently they used to levy on a different facet of a transaction. So the central government used to levy at the removal of goods on the service rendered, and the state used to levy on this when the goods have been sold. Now they both will operate on the same concurrently and same supply of goods and service for consideration. For example, to give an example, once again a motor vehicle manufacture of value of 5 lakhs, if the goods are manufactured worth of 5 lakhs and they have been supplied. So there are two rates of taxes, two rates will be levied. One is CGST at 10% if you say, and SGST 10%. So means to say on 5 lakhs, the 10% is levied by the central government and another 10% is levied by the state government on the same 5 lakhs. Whereas in earlier situation, the same transaction, we used to levy 16% of central excise, and the 14.5% was to be levied even on the 16% of central excise. So that kind of cascading is not there in this GST. Now on the same value base, both these taxes are levied. And taxable event is of supply. Earlier it was removal or sale or receipt of services or rendering of services. Now all that will get replaced by a term called supply. Means any goods which have been removed or given to or supplied or received. It's called as a supply other than sale or whatever they are going to coin and define the term. We call any supply of goods and services. Any supply of goods and services, taxable event is that. It's not on removal, nor on sale, nor on entry, so on and so forth. All these taxable events which we saw in earlier slides will get replaced as to say, and a supply of goods and services, the taxable event will be there. Within the same state transactions also. In interstate transaction, within the same state means within the state of one state or within the state of Karnataka, both same transactions, supply transactions, goods and services, both CGST and SGST, both central GST and state GST is to be levied. And for interstate transactions to be covered in integrated GST, there is another model wherein earlier we have a CS, a central sales tax. Now that has been taken care of. So instead of central sales tax, it is get replaced by interstate transactions to be covered in integrated GST model. See, once again, there's nothing to worry about it here. In this, there are two components like once again CGST and IGST, which I'll explain later how the credit mechanism is available. Earlier, there was no credit mechanism in a current scenario. In a future, in a proposed GST, even in whatever the taxes it's paid on the interstate supplies, that is creditable. Even it's envisaged, even there is a supply means even a stock transfer or a consignment sale to the value what is been envisaged, and that IGST has to be collected. That is what has been thought process. But the Rajya Sabha committee, which gave a report on 22/7/2015, has made a little distinction in certain 1% additional tax, which I will take it later. And IGST would be the aggregate of CGST and SGST. It has component of central goods and service taxes and state goods and service taxes. Because as you say, as a game changer, the GST is not origin based taxes. The GST, I'm not getting into very basics of GST because I think I would have learnt in some other sessions and some other PowerPoint presentation. I'll not go to the basics of GST. The GST basically is a consumption. It's a destination based. So IGST would be aggregate of CGST and SGST. It has both the components of CGST, the central levy and also state levy. And let us not get into how it is apportioned. Apportionment happen at the back end. Only as a dealer he has to collect first what is the rate of IGST has been designated. So he is going to collect that taxes and he is going to remit that particular taxes, and IT framework at the back end makes the reconciliation and redistribution and adjustment to CGST and SGST. Next slides I will explain that how it will happen. So all interstate transactions to be covered in integrated GST model. Whereas same state transactions, you have dual GST, means the same state, within the state of Karnataka, within the state of Haryana, any supply of goods and services happens. It has two components, central GST levy and also state GST levy. And IGST is levied by the center. The central government, a central enactment will levy the IGST on all interstate transactions. And the apportionment and distribution as per the constitutional provisions, it will happen, or finance commissioner will decide all those issues. And another one features of GSTs, the proposed to 1% additional tax on interstate supplies, which is non-creditable. It's because of many of the manufacturing states that they had a fear that they're going to lose a lot of money, and the revenue loss will be there because of this proposed new feature.